Oxford from the inside. The good, the bad, but always the truth.
Hey guys, welcome to Oxford from the Inside, the good, the bad, but always the truth. Today we're here with Hardeep. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep. Hello, my name's Hardeep. I have just finished my degree studying maths at Trinity College.
Nice. So today we've got another quickfire question. And Hardeep, so how do you deal with stress?
Okay, so I think it's quite funny that I'm answering this question because anyone who knows me knows I stress quite a lot. But that also means that I have quite a lot to say, so that's good. So I think the main reason why people stress, or the main reason why I stress, is that I have too much to do in too little time, right? So the number one thing that I do, and some people probably find this really, really obvious, but I think there's different ways to do this, and that's to prioritize and to be realistic with yourself with what you can actually get done in time. So I'll just talk from my personal experiences. So during exam season, well, for maths, basically all people do really is past papers. Well, that's the main thing that I would do in exam season. And so for maths, you have 3 questions per past paper, and each one should take you about 45 minutes to an hour. So each past paper, in theory, should take you about 3 hours. So about at the beginning of exam season, I would plan, because you could technically get through 2 past papers in a day, right, with that time frame. So that's what I planned to do originally. But then I very, very quickly decided that that's way too much to get done in a day. So you have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay, this is too much. I'm not getting this done. I'm just going to stress myself out even further if I continue to plan to do this. So I think it's really good to recognize early how much you can actually get done in a day or in a week or however long you want, and then decide what you want to prioritize. And there will definitely be stuff that you won't be able to get done. There are loads of past papers, at least for maths, and there is no way that you can get through every single one before exams start. And recognizing that early, I think, is key. And then prioritizing which ones you want to get done. Do you want to get done the more recent ones, or do you want to get done the ones that you have solutions for? They give us solutions, I think, for every even year. So it's like 2020, 2018, 2016, etc. Do you want to get done those, or do you want to get done the ones that you don't have solutions for, so you can ask your tutors? All this stuff, I think it's really important to decide what you want to do early and make that decision, and take the time to make that decision. Taking the time to plan what you're going to do, I think, is really, it'll take time. I spent about an hour every week just planning what I want to do, but that's in the long run, that's going to help you not stress even more, because then the goals you set for yourself are much more achievable and you will stop stressing. Well, at least that's what helped me to stop stressing. And the best case scenario is that you end up with more time than you expected, and you can get more done if you wanted to, and then you'll just feel even better about yourself, if that makes sense. So I think that was what really helped me. And also, as well, after you've decided what you wanted to do, I would break things up into really, really little chunks. So instead of today I want to do a past paper, I would be I want to do question 1 of the 2016 paper in mathematical biology, for example, and then I want to do question 2. So then you can tick off more things as you go along, every hour or so into the day, and you'll just feel so much better, or at least I did. Because then you can see you're slowly making progress. Even if you only manage to get done say 1 or 2 questions a day, which for me was quite often. I'd just have a bit of an off day and be I'll only do 1 question today. You can still tick something off, and it just makes you feel better that you actually got something done that day. So that's also what helped me to stop stressing so much. And it also got to the point I would make my to-do list really, really specific. So I would add things like eat lunch or ring my mom. Do you know what I mean? And just the action of ticking things off just helps so much in terms of telling yourself you're getting stuff done. Do you know what I mean? So that was good, especially in exam season. And also as well, I did this strategy I did it's quite counterintuitive, and I just want to stress that I would definitely not do this in exam season. What I'm about to say, I did from September to April time, during the year. But basically, I would make my schedule really busy with things that aren't maths. So I would go to like society events, see friends, etc., and I'd mark those down in my diary. The benefit of this for me would be that in the time that I did set out to work, it would mean I'm way more productive, because I'm like, okay, this is the only time I have to do this work, and then I just knuckle down and focus and do it. And that would make me more productive in that time. And also by keeping myself busy, it would mean like I physically did not have time to stress about how much I had to do. So it works in that sense as well. But definitely do not do that in exam season, because that does pose the risk of like actually falling behind if you do too much stuff that's not your uni work. But if you can find the balance, then that did really work for me. So that might be a good strategy for other people as well. So yeah, I think that was really good throughout the year. Yeah, I hope that's made sense so far.
Nice. No, all very sound advice.
Yeah.
No, I particularly liked how you stressed about making the ticks, because I think like you do get like studies have shown you do get a dopamine release, like a feel good feeling when you like have a little to-do list and you tick them off, and sort of, do you find that once you start ticking things off, do you feel like a momentum builds to continue your
Definitely.
Nice.
Definitely. The like physically writing things down and physically ticking things off or crossing things off or whatever, it just gives you so much more of a confidence boost. And it's just like, oh yeah, I can actually do this, and just stop stressing.
So when it comes to like managing stress, do you find that if you need to do things, that having them written down somewhere on paper is easier, like is better than all in your mind?
Definitely. And as I said, like breaking it down into really, really small chunks, so you can like, even if you're making slow progress, you can see you're making progress. And it gives you like some place to actually like start. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's good. It's all pretty standard stuff, but I think there's ways to do it properly. Do you know what I mean? That works for different people.
Nice. I was wondering, say for those times, if they happen, when you're feeling very stressed and you need to take a break, just like from work, because I don't know, for whatever reason, whether it's you've done too much work or you're feeling very stressed, what is your like ideal break from studying?
So for me, like before the pandemic happened, I shout out to the Oxford South Asian Arts Society, love it so much. Definitely go to some of those events. Like I would do dance, so I would either, if there was no events happening, I would just like in my room or message a friend and be like, hey, do you want to do this? I think as well, collaborating with people or just talking to people just about random stuff, like it doesn't have to be about maths or whatever subject you are, just really helps. Like there was quite a few times I was in the library and I just did not like, I was trying to do work, but I just couldn't do questions at all, so that made me stress out loads. But then I sat down with a friend that night and we started talking about maths, but then it would just stress me out even more. So we just spoke about just random stuff and just like completely just take your mind off it. So if you can find someone with a spare like hour or so just to like talk about anything other than maths, or like go for a walk or something, for me like talking to someone else is the best way to kind of deal with that in the moment, because they can like help you put everything into perspective. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I would do personally.
Cool. All right. That is all that we have time for today. Thank you, Hardeep, for sharing your experiences of how you manage stress. And if you guys are interested in hearing other students' perspectives on how to deal with stress or any other quickfire questions, they're all in our podcast, whether it's on YouTube or your podcasting platform. And on YouTube, they're in specific playlists, so you can find all the other episodes on how do we each deal with stress. And yeah, thanks for the viewers for listening in. We hope you stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.